Who is called the father of GST in India? Who is known as the GST father in India? Your answers are Arun Jaitley, Indira Gandhi, Manmohan Singh, or Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So who is the person known as the father of GST in India? The correct answer is Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Yes friends, when Atal Bihari Vajpayee sir was the Prime Minister of India, so he set this committee, okay, to implement GST model from Canada. So that's the reason we call Atal Bihari Vajpayee as the father of GST in India. Hi, do you know in India the GST is based on the dual model GST, okay? And do you know from which country this dual model GST was adopted in India? Your answers are UK, Canada, USA, or Japan. The correct answer of this question that we Indian adopted the dual model GST from Canada. Friends, Canada GST model is what India is trying to achieve. Okay, the India has chosen the Canadian model of dual GST. Okay, to be honest, only a handful of countries, few countries such as India, Canada, and Brazil have this dual GST structure. Okay, so the correct answer is Canada. Okay, from Canada we got this GST idea. Okay, can you answer this another interesting question? The first two digit of GST number represents. So what two digit of the first GST number tells us, represent us? Your answers are state code, district code, business code, or person's category code. Guess the answer? The correct answer is the first two digit of GST number shows state code. Friends, the first digit of the 15 digit of GST 10, okay, GST code represent the state code. Okay, and the remaining next 10 digits are the PAN number of the person or a business entity. Okay, so out of 15 digit, their first two digits shows us the state code in the GST number. Right? Okay, the last one, very interesting question. Can you answer it? So friends, in next 10 minutes, you are going to be perfect at 30 most repeated GST based questions that were asked in many competitive examinations. So if you watch this video till the end, I'm damn sure you'll be having lots of answers in your mind for all GST based questions which may come in the examinations. So, are you ready? Let's start. Friends, welcome to your channel, Dear Competitive Exam. In this channel, we are going to help you to prepare for lot of competitive examinations. Let's start. The first question is, what is the full form of GST? So what GST stand for? Your answers are Goods and Supply Tax, Goods and Services Tax, General Sales Tax, or Government Sales Tax. The correct answer? The GST stands for, or full form is, Goods and Service Tax. So friends, it is known as Goods and Services Tax. It is an indirect tax, okay, to imposed on the supply of goods and services. Okay, so GST stands for Goods and Services Tax. The tax is charged on the goods and services. Okay, let's move on to the question number 2. Which state became the first state of India to ratify the GST bill? Which state of India actually approved for the GST bill very first time in India? Okay, your answers are Assam, Telangana, Bihar, or Arunachal Pradesh. Your correct answer is the first state which has approved or ratified the GST bill is Assam. Friends, on 12th of August 2016, Assam became the first state to ratify GST bill. Later on, Bihar and Jharkhand became the second and third state to ratify the GST on 16th of August and 17th of August 2016. Okay, so the first state of India which has ratified the GST bill is Assam. Let's move on to the question number 3rd. In India, the GST is based on the dual model GST. From which country it has been adopted? So from which country GST model has been adopted? Your answers are UK, Canada, USA or Japan. So the correct answer that we Indian, our country, has adopted the GST based idea from Canada. Friends, Canada GST model is what we Indian is trying to achieve. Okay, so India has chosen the Canadian model of dual GST structure. Okay, to say only few countries in the world has this dual country model like India, Canada, Brazil, etc. Okay, so India got the idea or adopted the GST model from Canada. Right, let's move on to the question number 4. GST is a consumption of goods and services tax based on. Your answers are development, dividend, destiny or destination. Your answer is destination. Friends, destination based tax is based on the consumptions of goods or services. Okay, it is a tax we pay for using goods and services. Let's move on to the question number 5th. The number of structures in India's GST model is. So how many structures are there in India's GST model? Your answers are 6, 4, 3 and 5. The correct answer is 4. The GST was carefully crafted, okay, done to keep both burden on the common man and inflation rates in mind. Okay, the 4 structure contains 4 separate rates like a 0 rate, lower rate, standard rate and higher rate. So let me repeat again: 0 rate, lower rate, standard rate and higher rate. So these are the structures, okay, that India GST has. Right, so that's what you call the Indian GST is a 4 structure based model. And what are these structures? What are these interest and rates? We'll see in coming questions. Let's move on to the question number 6. The maximum rate for CGST is. So what is the maximum rate for CGST? Your answers are 28%, 12%, 18% and 14%. The correct answer is 14%. Friends, it is clearly mentioned in the section of 8 of the CGST Act, okay, that the taxes be levied on all intrastate supplies of goods and or services, okay, but the rate of tax shall be not exceeding 14% each. It means the CGST should not cross more than 14%. Okay, and that's what we call the maximum rate for CGST is 14%. Right, so let's move on to the question number 7. Who is called the father of GST in India? Your answers are Arun Jaitley, Indira Gandhi, Manmohan Singh or Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Here the correct answer is Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Because when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the as Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of India, he actually set a committee to study and to get implemented the model of GST in India from Canada. And that's what we call Atal Bihari Vajpayee as the father of GST in India. right? So let's move on to the question number 8. Taxes that are implemented or charged on any intrastate purchase are. So what kind of GST, okay, is implemented when you do the intrastate purchase? So friends, let me tell you, intrastate purchase means, in simple words, supplying goods and services within a state, okay, within a state border, not going out of the state. So that kind of purchase is called as an intrastate purchase. In that case, what is GST? I mean, what kind of GST is implemented? The answers are IGST, CGST and SGST, SGST, or none of the above. Answer is CGST and SGST. So friends, when a person supply goods and services within a state, in the same state, in that case, the CGST and SGST he has to pay. So the government charge a tax that is in the form of CGST and SGST, right? Let's move on to the question number 9. What does I in IGST stands for? So what does I full form in the IGST? Answers are internal, integrated, internal, or intra. Your answer is integrated. Yes, friends. Friends, IGST stands for Integrated Goods and Services Tax. So IGST is one of 3 components of goods and services. Okay, and IGST tax implemented when there is an interstate transfer of goods and services. Okay, when any kind of goods and services transfer out of the state, then IGST is implemented. Okay, so let's move on to the question number 10th. IGST payable when the supply is. So when we pay IGST, the options are: do we pay when you do purchase from interstate, or intra-UT, or intrastate, or all of the above? So the correct answer is intrastate. Friends, IGST is charged when movement of goods and services from one state to another. For example, if goods are moved from Tamil Nadu to Kerala, in that case the IGST is implemented on those goods. Okay, the revenue out of IGST is shared by state government and the central government as per the rates fixed by the GST authorities. Okay, let's move on to the question number 11. Who is the chairperson of the GST Council? So he is called the chairperson of GST Council. Your answers are Prime Minister, President, Union Finance Minister, or State Revenue Minister. The correct answer, the chairperson of the GST Council, is Union Finance Minister. So friends, Union Finance Minister, the Nirmala Sitharaman, is the current chairperson of the GST Council. Okay, the GST Council is a joint forum of the center and the states. Okay, it was established by the president in the accordance with Article 279A. Okay, so the Union Finance Minister, the Nirmala Sitharaman, is the present chairperson of the GST Council. Okay, let's move on to the question number 12. GST is dash based tax. On what GST is charged or taxed? Your answers are consumption and destination, production, manufacture, or sales. The correct answer, the GST is consumption and destination based tax. Friends, consumption and destination based tax is based on the consumption of goods and services. Okay, we do consumption of goods and services. It is a tax we pay for using goods or services, and that's what we call as a GST is consumption, or I can say destination based tax, right? Let's move on to the question number 13. GST was introduced in Jammu and Kashmir with effect from. So when did the GST was implemented or introduced in Jammu and Kashmir? Was it introduced on 1st August 2017 or 1st July 2017 or 1st January 2018 or 8th July 2017? The correct answer of this question: in Jammu and Kashmir, the GST was introduced and got effected from 8th of July 2017. Friends, on this 7th July 2017, the Jammu and Kashmir Goods and Services Tax Bill was passed by the state government. Okay, and it was implemented, okay, on 8th of July. Okay, so 7th July it was passed and the 8th July it was implemented in 2017 in Jammu and Kashmir, right? So let's move on to the question number 14. When a GST dealer in Kerala sells a product to a GST dealer of customer in Tamil Nadu, the tax collected is. So when a GST dealer in Kerala, let's say in Karnataka, selling the product to Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, in that case, what kind of GST is collected from that dealer? So government charge him SGST, CGST, integrated GST or UTGST. Friends, as we have seen and discussed earlier, any sale or purchase is done out of state. Friends, when we buy or sell any item, okay, to other state, out of state, then integrated GST tax is applied there. Okay, so guys, integrated GST tax is one of the 4 types of GST that prescribed by the central government. Okay, the revenue collected under IGST is shared between central government as well as the state government. Okay, so what happens here? Here integrated GST tax is applied or collected, right? Let's move on to the question number 15. The lowest tax rate under GST is. So what is the minimum, the lowest tax rate under GST? 0.25, 1%, 0.5 or 5%? The correct answer is 0.25. Friends, the primary GST slab for any regular taxpayers are presently paged at 0. No, nil, I can say that. And then 5%, 12%, 18% and 22%. There are few lesser used GST rates such as 3% and 0.25. So the lowest tax rate under GST is 0.25. Okay. Let's move on to the question number 16. The rate IGST is equal to the rate of. The rate of IGST is equal to the rate of CGST or SGST or CGST plus the rate of SGST or SGST plus UTGST. So what IGST equals to? Is it equal to rate of CGST or SGST or CGST plus the rate of SGST or SGST plus UTGST? The correct answer of this question is the rate of IGST is equal to the rate of CGST plus SGST, where the central government and state government share the revenue together when there is a IGST tax is applied. Right? Okay. So let's move on to the question number 17. Which code is used to classify goods and services under GST? So what is the name of that code that is used to classify, differentiate the goods and services under the GST plan? Do we call it as HSN code or SAC HSN code or GST code or SAC code? Friend, the code that is used to classify the goods and services under GST is what? HSN code and SAC code. Friends, HSN stands for Harmonized System of Nomenclature. Friends, HSN and SAC code, it is an internationally adopted system for commodity descriptions and product details. Okay, it is the system developed by the World Customs Organization, WCO. Okay, so to the classify goods and services, we use SAC and HSN code on the goods and services. So let's move on to the question number 18. SAC code stands for. So what SAC stands for? Do we call it as Software Accounting Code, or Services Accounting Code, or System Accounting Code, or Service Application Code? The correct answer, we call it as Services Accounting Code. Okay, friends, the SAC, that stands for Servicing Accounting Code, and it is used to classify services but not goods, right? Okay, let's move on to the question number 19. What does I stands for in IGST? What is I in the IGST? Do we call it as integrated, international, internal, or intra? So we call it as a integrated service tax. Okay, so IGST stands for Integrated Goods and Services Tax. So there I stands for integrated, right? Okay, let's move on to the question number 20. How many types of taxes will be in Indian GST? So how many types of taxes that includes in Indian GST? Are they 2, 3, 1, or 5? The correct answer is 3. There are 3 types of taxes under Indian GST, and those are like CGST, SGST, and IGST. Okay, let's move on to the question number 21. Which form is to be used for registration? So if you want to register for GST, then what is the form name? Is it called Form GST Registration 1, or Form GSTR 2, or Form GSTR 1A, or the Form GST registration? The correct answer is, we use the Form GST Registration 1 to register for GST tax. Okay, so let's move on to the question number 22. The highest CGST rate legally permitted for intra-state supplies is. What is the highest CGST rate that legally permitted, okay, to have intra-state supplies? Is it 18%, 40%, 20%, or 28 plus cess tax? The correct answer, the highest CGST rate legally permitted to have this intra-state supplies or purchase is 40%. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the question number 23. Which one of the below taxes is included in this GST? Okay, what are the taxes are included in the GST? Is it central sales tax, central excise duty, VAT, or all of the above? Here the correct answer is all of the above. In GST, even central sales tax, central excise duty, and VAT, all these 3 kind of taxes are included, right? Let's move on to the question number 24. Where and when GST was first implemented? In entire world, where and when the GST was first implemented? In which country? Your answers are France in 1954, India in 2017, China in 1994, and Japan in 1976. The correct answer is, the first GST was implemented in France in 1954. Okay, friends, here the France was the first nation to implement GST for goods and services. Okay, let's move on to the question number 25th. GST registration is based on. So if someone want to have the GST registrations, so what is the main document is required? Is it Aadhaar card, passport, PAN card or credit card? The correct answer, if someone wants to have the GST registration, the PAN card is what? Mandatory. Right? So let's move to the question number 26. A person having multiple businesses requires registration. So if a person runs or having more than one businesses, in that case, does he require registration on single time, each business separately, or one registration one person, or none of the above? The correct answer, if a person having multiple businesses, then he requires registration for each business separately. Okay, right. So let's move to the question number 26. The first two digits of GST number represent. So what the first two digits of GST number represents? Is it showing state code, district code, business code or person category? Since we have seen earlier, the first two digits of GST number shows state code. So friends, there are total 15 digits. Out of that, the first two digits shows state code and the remaining 10 digit is a PAN card number of that person, right? Okay, let's move on to the question number 28. The next 10 digits of GST number shows. As we spoken earlier, the first two digits shows state code and the remaining 10 digits shows credit card number, Aadhaar card number, PAN number of the taxpayer or none of the above. So as we know already, the next 10 digits of GST number shows the PAN number of the taxpayer. Okay. So let's move on to the question number 29. CGST and IGST is collected by. So who collects? So who does collect CGST and IGST? The state government, union territories, all of the above or none of the above. As we know friends, the CGST and IGST is collected by state government as well as union territories, right? Okay, so let's move on to the last interesting question. The maximum penalty for delay in filing GST return is. So what is the penalty the government charge if there is a delay in filing GST return? Is it 5,000, 50,000, 10,000 or 15,000? So friends, the correct answer is 10,000. Friends, a minimum penalty of rupees 10,000 has to be paid. Okay, in case if the penalty, in case if there is a delay in the GST return, I can say the 10% of that amount. Okay, so right. So we've done our 30 questions. So friends, hope you got the benefits of attending all these 30 questions. And I'm sure that you may able to attend and give maximum answers that may come in the future based on GST. If this video has helped you, then please do subscribe and comment your views in the comment section. Your comments inspire us to bring such great videos for your examinations. So thank you for giving your valuable time and watching this video completely. See you in the next video. Till that, take care and have a great time.